I have a question, Professor.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Professor, it means that like the sign is positive on the first quadrant, on the third quadrant as well.
No. The sign is positive in the
On
first
the
quadrant and the second.
Yes, Professor.
Uh-huh.
But why? How do we know that it's on the first quadrant and not on the second quadrant? That is my question.
The reason is sine inverse is not defined in the second quadrant and in the third quadrant. Only defined when it's positive in the first quadrant. Remember, I recall the idea. This idea is complicated to understand. But I explained, I suppose, very well in your moment in the lecture. But I want to explain, but short now. The trigonometry function sine and cosine also and tangent is not one-to-one. But in order to find the inverse function, I need to make restriction in order to convert like a one-to-one. And the restriction is always this restriction. So I use condensing the restriction and this graphic idea. So actually, you believe that we have two possibilities of solution. No, because sine inverse have restriction to make a function. No? Do you understand this idea, Noela, or no?
Yes, Professor. I got it. Thank you.
This is the only thing you need to keep in mind. Keep in mind that when the value, remember the trigonometry inverse function are doing a little bit different. Is when you have value, no angle, radical 2/2 is a value, number, one number. But when this number is positive, the answer que this trigonometric function inverse offer, que es the angle, this is the angle, like in the first quadrant when it's positive. And when this value is negative, suppose another hypothetical example, sine inverse of negative radical 2/2. Es obvio que the answer is negative pi over 4. Okay? Or, si you normally, I don't know why, the student of the book prefer using negative angle, que es rotation clockwise. But if you want to express a counterclockwise, que es the same, is 7 pi over 4. It's 7 pi. This is equivalent, no? 7 pi over 4. Do you understand the idea? I know it's very complicated.
Yes, I understood. I understood. Thank you.
And this is the challenge in that part. Understand very well, one more time, the trigonometry inverse function. Guys, I can do here in the review packet 1,000 examples. If you don't do your homework, you don't get this idea, right? So you to see me, look at me, it's easy when I explain, but you forgot. No, you need to practice by yourself, okay? Number two is sine inverse again. But the number is negative 0.5. Immediately, I understand. Okay, I put this to confuse you, but it's equivalent to say sine inverse of negative 1/2, no? And this is equal 1 angle theta. I know that when it's negative, my answer theta lie in the fourth quadrant, no? And to understand much better, I copy like that. Sine theta, the regular sign, no inverse trigonometry, sino direct trigonometry, is equal negative 1/2. And this lie, positive half, so sine theta half is pi over 6, no? Or 30 degrees. Now the answer of this is a negative pi over 6 or negative 30 degrees. Or, if you want to express a counterclockwise, it's 330 degrees. But no, never express it like that. Never is positive or negative. So the answer is B. Got it? Got it? Okay, yes. Kevin, say yes, professor. Okay, and other guys, everything okay?
Yes, it is.
I am a little bit concerned in this class. This class, they are doing no good in the first test. And the first test is the easy test. And I saw a lot of people take this class 2 times. So I'm really, really concerned with this class. And I saw that the attendance is slow down. It's going down. Okay. We have 30-something students, and I can see less than 20 students. Okay, guys, so you don't do well, I put 0, and 0 is F, and you retake again this class.
Yeah, the class is not easy, Professor.
No. That is the reason that some people take trigonometry 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The problem is focusing. So you focusing, you have no problem. Number 3, say cosine inverse of radical 2 over 2. Again, but cosine is a little bit different, agree with me. Cosine inverse is something like that. When it's positive. When it's positive in the first quadrant. You know, always positive in the first quadrant. And when it's negative, is in the second, not in the fourth quadrant. Okay, this is the agreement for the cosine inverse. I do not create that. I created a mathematician a lot of years ago. I only present to you this idea. In order to define cosine inverse, you make restrictions, and the restriction is this restriction that I explain now. So it's easy to understand because see the number, the value inside the function is positive. Well, the answer is one angle in the first quadrant. Si es negative, it's the angle in the. Okay. Suppose. To understand much better, I express it like that. Cosine theta, I don't know if you like this way, but I like this way. I am not familiar with the cosine inverse. I don't feel comfortable with this. However, I feel super comfortable with cosine direct. Now what is the angle whose cosine is radical to? Pi over 4 again. In the first quadrant. All 45 degrees. Either way, in degree or radian, again, this case is pi over 4. Suppose that I need to compute cosine inverse of negative radical 2 over 2. This theta I need to compute now, this is extra, lie in the second quadrant. Cosine theta is equal minus radical 2 over 2. And the question says, well, professor, but I know that in the third quadrant, the cosine is also negative. Y in the fourth quadrant is positive. But the cosine inverse is not defined in this quadrant. So I focus the answer in the second quadrant, que es 3 pi over theta is equal 3 pi over 4 or 135 degrees. Okay, do you see the difference when it's negative and when it's positive? And the agreement you have to respect of the definition. This is the challenge. Okay, we're discussing now.
So, Professor, I have a question. And like the cosine needs to be on the first quadrant or in the fourth, right? When is cosine is on the first or second?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me summarize the idea. The idea is clear. Look. The restriction introduced in the inverse function are sine inverse, cosine inverse, tangent inverse, cosecant inverse, secant inverse, cotangent inverse. Is like that, plus minus. is like that, plus, minus. Is like that, plus, minus. It's easy to remember because tangent and sine is the same. The only guy gets different is cosine. No, cosine and cotangent. Plus, minus. The other is the same. Plus, minus. Plus, minus. End the story. Got it?
Yes, Professor, I'm taking a picture.
Take a picture. It's yours.
Thank you, Professor. It's much better. I understood.
Yeah, claro, of course. This is the idea of the review, guy. The review is see again the thing we discussed before, but in detail. Slow down. And you ask me any question. This is the college. This is not high school. In high school, everyone pass. Here, no. Okay, so now let's do in combination. Combination, trigonometry, and direct together, like a composition, no? In different order, crazy. Number 4 is sine inverse of sine 4 pi over 7. This is the angle. This is the angle. So when you compute this part, the first part, give me a value. And when you plug in this value into the sine inverse, after you give me again angle in the answer. Do you understand this idea? Angle, value, angle is the transformation.
Yes.
So you understand very well this. Let's try, but step by step. Okay. The first thing is determine in what quadrant 4 pi over 7. I have no familiar. I have no familiar because it's not the basic angle that we discussed before, but it's okay. I try to understand. Because my imagination is look. In radian, it's a little bit complicated. It's suppose this is 0. This is pi over 2, so the decimal is 0.5 because it's pi over 2, no? Here is 1 pi. This is 3 pi over 2. Okay, the decimal is 1.5. And this again is 2 pi, okay, is 2. So you focus in the decimal part. This is one fantastic way to identification in radian in what quadrant lie our angle. So you take 4 over 7. You forgot the pi for a moment. And you put in the calculator and compute the decimal approximation is 0.57. Wow. So 0.57 lie in the second quadrant. Makes sense? Because it's a number in between 0.5 and 1. You know, a little bit close to 0.5, but it's basically, I don't know exactly, I don't need to know exactly the position. This is no big deal. But I determine que lie in the second quadrant, correct? So this angle lie in the second quadrant. Everyone follow me so far?
Yes.
And I know very well que the angle in the second quadrant, the sine is positive, correct?
Yes.
Entonces the sine and this value would be positive. Sine inverse, sorry. I know the agreement I need to respect. When the value inside the sine inverse is positive, my answer lies in the first quadrant. Okay, entonces now my answer, I don't know, theta, lie in first quadrant. Do you understand this idea or no? Repetition. Step number 1, identification in what quadrant lie 4 pi over 7. One fantastic way is You put in the calculator 4 divided by 7. You get the decimal approximation. And you compare 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2 lie in the second quadrant. I know that any sign of the angle que lie in the second quadrant is positive value. And positive value inside sine inverse give me one angle in the first quadrant. What angle? Look, it's easy because this guy is 4 pi over 7. I discovered that. And this is the complementary is 3 pi over 7, no? How do you know? Because this again is 180 degree, get pi minus 4 pi over 7. Es obvio, you condense in one common denominator, que es 7. This is 7 pi minus 4 pi is 3 pi over 7. And this is like alpha. Alpha, remember, is reference angle. The reference angle is an angle que lie always in the first quadrant, and the trigonometric function is in value equal to the original angle, but the only difference is the size. Okay? Entonces, what is the answer? The answer is the reference angle, que es 3 pi over 7, que lie in the first quadrant. Exactly, we expect the lie in the first quadrant. And the answer of theta is then 3 pi over 7. End the story. Okay, let's see. There you go, see. Do you see or no? Repetition again or no?
So, Professor, because it lies on the first quadrant, that is why we put pi minus 4 pi over 7. It's because we did that because it lies on the
Noela, focus in this problem, no another problem that you have in your mind. You see in any quadrant, I promise you see in any quadrant. Do you understand in this quadrant? In this quadrant, I investigate first. In what quadrant lie 4 pi over 7? Yeah, I discovered, wow, lie in the second quadrant. I know that in the second quadrant, the sign is positive. Therefore, the value inside the sine inverse trigonometric function is positive value. And positive value give me always the answer of the angle in the first quadrant. So the answer is no 4 pi over 7. It's obvious que no, right? It's obvious que no. It's another angle. And what angle? The reference angle. What is the reference angle? 4 pi over 7? 3 pi over 7. End the story. Got it? Let's see after. Si es negative, entonces... Pero no. Okay? Entonces, one, shortcut. One shortcut. Entonces, this is confusing. Suppose sine inverse of sine of the one angle theta. Professor, is not equal theta. Because I know in college algebra that when you put together in composition any function and its inverse, the answer does each other, no? And the answer is theta. Okay, this is true if theta lie in between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2, que es when you define the sine inverse, que es this. Negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. Otherwise, outside this part, no is valid this idea. And we investigate, wow, my angle lie in the second quadrant. So I need to find reference angle. More clear now?
Yes, it is. Thank you. But Professor, we're going to have more examples of that.
Of course, I bring a lot of. We have spent 3 lectures doing that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Another question. Moving on to the number 5. Number 5 now. I know that this is hard. Some students never understand this. Sorry. This is cosine inverse. So we are doing composition. So two trigonometric function of 4 pi over 5. Okay. Number one, investigate what quadrant lie 4 pi over 5 because I never see in my life before. Entonces it's super easy because you take the fraction without pi and you put in the calculator as 0.8. Remember, this is 0, this is 0.5, this is 1, this is 1.5, and this is 2 repeat again. And 0.8 lie again in the second quadrant. Entonces the cosine in the second quadrant is negative. It's negative, right? So that value is negative. Now I know that cosine inverse of negative value lie in the second quadrant. Okay, this is the agreement for the cosine, plus minus. Cosine inverse agreement. So my angle is here. This is 4 pi over 5. So the answer that I obtain here is here in the second quadrant. This theta lie in the second quadrant. And this is a perfect coincidence. Wow, I like this. This guy original lie in the second. It's negative value, but negative value inside the cosine inverse is negative, ese angle in the second quadrant. So they are perfect coincidence and theta is 4 pi over 5. End the story. Not necessary to find reference angle, nothing. And the answer is 4 pi over 5. In this case, they are perfect coincidence. Why? Because shortcut for a student can like the formulas. I don't like the formula. I like to see clear. So you have cosine inverse of cosine theta is equal to theta if theta lie in between 0 and pi. In other words, disagreement is disagreement. See lie in this, yes, it's the same. Only this in my mind undoes each other. Bang, bang, cancel out. Okay, and this theta. See lie in another quadrant? No. See it's negative. Suppose another angle can lie in the third quadrant. The answer is also negative, but the answer after the cosine inverse lie in the second. Okay. So what's the answer? The answer is A, 4 pi over 5. They are perfect coincidence. And between the original given 4 pi over 5 and the answer, final answer get 4 pi over 5. More clear now?
No, Professor, I don't get this one. This one was hard.
No, it's the same. It's the same. Nuela. Do you understand the 4 pi over 5 lie in the second quadrant?
Yes, I did.
Now, this is the quadrant que matching perfectly with the negative value and the cosine inverse. Therefore, they are identical. In the previous example, they are contradiction. In this example, they are no contradiction. Everything matching, everything flow. Nice. Okay. I know that when you compute in a calculator, maybe this negative number, I'm plugging in here, this cosine inverse, give me one angle que lie in the second quadrant. Because I know very well que cosine inverse of the negative number give me angle in the second quadrant. There are no contradiction, everything matching perfectly. And another example, if you want, I do again, this next example, and you see contradiction, but in this case, no contradiction, entonces it's the same, right? Entonces, the fantastic conclusion is this. When you have a combination, cosine inverse and cosine undo each other if theta lie in between 0 and pi. In other words, first quadrant or second quadrant. First quadrant positive, second quadrant negative. More clear?
So it's negative because the value inside is negative, right?
I know that the cosine inverse of the negative number give me one theta angle que lie in the second quadrant. Right?
Right, I got it. Nothing.
Si this guy is a number que es positive, no, entonces this theta lie in the first quadrant. Okay? I know that's super complicated. Too many details. And this is just the beginning. And so I want to complicate your life using tangent, cotangent, sine, cosine inverse. Entonces now, pero let's do it step by step. And you try to understand step by step. In this case, we're using the same kind of the trigonometry, no? Cosine inverse and cosine direct. And the next example is tangent. Tangent inverse and tangent direct. Okay, tangent inverse of tangent inverse. Okay, entonces tangent inverse of tangent direct of 6 pi over 7. So I close double parenthesis because the first parenthesis is the close of the tangent function and the second is the tangent inverse. Oh. Okay, so now what should I do? Well, first of all, I need to compute in what quadrant lies 6 pi over 7 because I am not familiar with this angle. I am familiar pi over 6, pi over 3, pi over 2, but 6 pi over 7 I am not familiar. And maybe in degree is clear. One possibility is convert to the degree and it's just another possibility, but it's the same. This mnemonic divide I explained to you, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, and just 2. And you take 6, 7, and the decimal approximation is 0.857. It's obvious again. This lie in the second quadrant. Okay, entonces my angle, I don't know exactly what is the position, I don't care, is here. This is the famous 6 pi over 7. That part is easy, no? That part everyone follow me. Y I know que the tangent in the second quadrant is negative. The only trigonometric function que es positive in the second quadrant is sine and cosecant. Pero tangent is negative. Entonces this value is negative. Negative value. For other hands, I have this idea, the agreement for the tangent inverse. Tangent inverse, I see the value inside is positive, lie in the first quadrant, offer one theta angle in the first quadrant. But in this case, no, unfortunately, it is negative. Therefore, the theta that we expect at the when I finish the problem, it lie in the fourth quadrant. Tangent inverse is negative something. Negative something you put in the calculator you want, but the majority of calculators don't offer this answer. It's complicated. This is without calculator. So this theta for sure lie in the fourth quadrant. Yes or no? For sure.
Yes, because it's negative.
Exactly. Now I'm going to find the actual angle. I compute the reference angle, que is this guy. Okay, by the way, it's pi over 7, no? Do you understand where I come from pi over 7? It's pi minus 6 pi over 7. Remember the formula, no? Or not the formula, you know, the reference angle is always one angle que lie in the first quadrant, and the terminal side is in between the terminal side of the specific angle and the x-axis. Entonces es find LCD, que 7 is 7 pi minus 6 pi, and 7 minus 6 is 1 pi over 7. So this guy is pi over 7. But I know that the answer is no pi over 7 because pi over 7 positive lie in the first quadrant is in the fourth quadrant. So the answer is minus pi over 7. Boom. Got it or no? Complicated or no?
So, Professor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, Professor, first we found like the value and we determined that it is on the second quadrant because the result was 0.857, right, Professor?
Absolutely. Yes.
And then we noticed that on the tangent is like positive, is negative on the fourth quadrant. That is why our result is in the fourth quadrant. Okay, I got it. I understood. Thank you.
This is the idea. Another question, guys. Everyone follow me?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Let's move on to number 7. Slow down. See, I'm doing too fast, you let me know. A ver, dice, that was good. Okay. We have all the time. No, not all the time, but we have enough time to cover in detail this review package. My idea is that you pay attention, try to understand. The test is similar. The reading test, not too much problem. It's 20 questions only. That's it. Okay, now cosine inverse of cosine direct. I would. Well, in this case, remember cosine pi over 2 is 0. And pi over 2 lie, no quadrant is quadrantal angle. Okay, my sketch to see the original is like that. Pi over 2. But it's 0. That is the reason that we have no sign. Entonces you need to understand que cosine inverse and cosine direct of any angle when is equal the angle if theta lie in between 0, include 0, and pi. Okay, entonces in this case, wow, amazing. Entonces it's clear que pi over 2 the answer, right? You see, bueno, okay. The answer in the cosine inverse function is positive in the first, is negative in the second. It's a coincidence, yes. But this case, no positive, no negative, it's 0. But cosine 0 is only cosine any angle que es 0 is you have two possibilities. Or pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2. And 3 pi over 2 is completely out this restriction. No. Okay, keep in mind this. So the understanding, this is no one specific ways, it's the combination of several factors. Because 0, es special, es quadrantal. Entonces 0, entonces what is the angle whose cosine is 0 is, we have two possibilities, 90 degrees or 270 degrees, but this is completely out of the game because the cosine inverse offers the answer in between 0 and pi. So in between 0 and 180 degrees, and 270 degrees is too much. Entonces the answer is pi over 2. That can be. That can be. It's okay. Little by little, you get the idea. Using your common sense and your imagination. It's very important, the imagination. Okay, cosine inverse now of cosine negative pi over 6. It's obvious. It's obvious in this case we cannot cancel out this. No. This is wrong. And you see the answer is negative pi over 6. Completely wrong. Why not? because this we can do that when this angle lie in between 0 and pi. Specifically, we are talking about cosine, and sine no, and sine is minus pi over 2 and pi over 2. Entonces, this is a contradiction. ¿Eso sí que es a contradiction? It's obvious, right? Que es a contradiction. Yeah. But, where and what quadrant lie negative pi over 6? In what quadrant lie the original given pi over 6 negative? In the fourth quadrant?
Yes.
In the fourth quadrant, what is the sign of the cosine? Negative.
It's negative.
No, it's positive.
No, it's positive. It's positive. It is positive.
50-50, 50-50. Okay, all students take calculus. C indicate cosine is positive. So now we have in front one problem of the cosine inverse of the positive value. Wait a second. Cosine inverse of the one positive value equal positive value, positive number, equal theta. Entonces, ¿cuál es the conclusion? Theta lie in what quadrant? In what quadrant lie? According to the agreement of the cosine inverse, que es plus minus. This is the agreement cosine inverse. In what quadrant lie theta? The final answer. Theta. In what quadrant lie theta?
Quadrant.
In the what?
The first.
In the first. Very well. In the first quadrant. Because it's positive. When it's positive, that number lie in the first quadrant. Es obvio que the answer is pi over 6. Yes or no? It's the reference angle. What is the reference angle of this? Is one quadrant with the same magnitude, but in the first quadrant, pi over 6. Super good or no? Okay, this is just the beginning. It's the first page. Now we continue working more complicated example. Que combine only sine, sine, cosine, sine, tangent, tangent. No. Okay, secant. Either way, it's crazy. Number, let me erase everything.
Professor, before you erase, can I take a picture?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me know when you finish.
Thank you. I already finished.
Nola, you take a picture with your camera or you are doing a screenshot?
I'm doing it with my phone.
Okay. Okay, download on the next page. Let's see, review test 2. Second page. Okay, wow, what the hell? Look. Number 9. Number 9 say. Secant. Secant, bracket, sine inverse of -2/5. Okay, this is different because this is the sine inverse inside, no? Therefore, this answer is angle theta. And by the way, this angle theta lie in what quadrant you believe can lie?
Fourth
quadrant, very well. And after that, we compute one angle theta in the fourth quadrant, and sorry, it's not sine, it's secant, and crazy. Secant. The final is easy. It's easy. You compute the sine theta. You need to understand that theta lie in the fourth quadrant. Okay? So let's do it step by step. Go ahead. Fourth quarter. The reason
Why?
is in the fourth quarter is because the agreement of the sine inverse is like that, plus minus. If the value inside is negative, for sure, my theta lie in the fourth
I
quarter.
see it. Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Little by little, it's a process. But I recommend you focus and pay attention, okay? And any question, don't hesitate. It's my pleasure. I don't put you no hungry, no, I lie. Smart question like that. Okay, now for sure, I know the sine inverse. Let's do it step by step. Of -2/5 is equal to theta. But I don't like this way. I like this way. Sine theta is equal -2/5. You know that their expressions are equivalent, no? No problem with this. Translate from inverse to direct. Entonces now, in order to find secant, the thing that they want is I need to do the triangle. But when you are doing the triangle, guys, you don't care this sign. No, you forgot temporary this negative. So some students make mistake and doing the triangle backward because -2. No. You compute the value and you adjust the sign with the quadrant. Here you are. Okay, so this is a right angle. This is a right angle. This is my famous theta. I don't care the quadrant now. According to the definition of the sign is opposite over hypotenuse. It's correct? 2 is this 2. 5 is this 5. And you find another letter is adjacent. It's square root 5 squared get 25 minus 2 squared get 4. Is square root 21. And the secant theta, by definition, or if you don't remember definition, no problem. You compute a cosine and reciprocal, either way, the way you prefer. But I memorize. It's good to memorize some things in mathematics. Que secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosine is adjacent, is the ratio between adjacent over hypotenuse. Therefore, the secant would be the ratio between hypotenuse divided by adjacent. Entonces 5 divided by radical 21, no? And leave it like that. No. To rationalize. But this is extra algebra. This is no problem. And now this is the crucial moment. Crucial moment. What is the sign of the final answer? The sign of the final answer would be positive or would be negative?
Negative.
Negative. Another opinion? Miss, in what quadrant lie theta? The original theta. In what quadrant lie?
On the fourth.
And the 4 in the fourth quadrant, what is the trigonometric function that is positive? All students take up. What is the trigonometric function that is positive in the fourth quadrant?
Cosine, cotangent.
No, hello. Cosine, you are right. And what is the reciprocal cosine?
Cosecant.
No, secant. O sea, you need to know, well, I don't know if you need to know, and the cheat sheet you can see, no? The reciprocal identity. Yes or no?
Yes, Professor, yes, sorry, I made a mistake.
It's okay. I understand everything. You are in the big process to learn. Entonces, it's up to you if you learn fast or you are slow. Pero it's okay, you are in the process. Entonces, I know que cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant and also is reciprocal que es secant. Wow! Secant is the thing that they want in this problem. Entonces, positive and it's the answer. Boom. Finals. Is the option C? I guess so. Any question? You want to get repeat again? I repeat it another way. Okay, this is more complicated because we have combination, not exactly the same trigonometry, it's different. Secant and sine inverse. You start for identification, sine inverse, negative number, lie in the fourth quadrant. Okay, I take the trigonometric function inside the bracket. I convert from inverse trigonometric function to direct trigonometric function. I am doing my famous triangle. And when you have the three sides of the triangle, you can find any trigonometric function. Tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, the trigonometric function that you want. Now, in this case, I want secant. Secant theta is hypotenuse divided by adjacent. Okay, rationalization is cosmetic part. And now I just assign, it's an important concept. It's positive because I know that cosine is positive in the fourth quadrant and its reciprocal is secant. So matching sine and cosecant, tangent and cotangent. Please don't forget this picture. Don't worry, I repeat several times. And the time is over, you don't remember, you failed the class. You remember, no problem. Pero es like a multiplication table in elementary school. Repetition, 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 repetition. But you are in the college, so you need to help me to no repetition too much because you have homework, no? So I don't care the homework because it's extra, okay. So now they are perfect coincidence. The students that don't do the homework fail the test. The students that do the homework pass the test. And by the way, successful. Any question? And number what? Number 9. Number 9. Yes, number 9. Everything okay? May I erase or not yet?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on number 10. Number 10 say cotangent. Wow. Cotangent. Sine inverse of -8/9. Wow. And then I do it step by step. I am doing first of all the trigonometric function inside this parenthesis. I call theta because I know that the result of this is an angle. Entonces now I know the sine inverse of -8/9 is equal to theta. Now my question is, at what quadrant lie theta? Theta lie 4 quadrant. According to this agreement of the sine inverse agreement, when the number is positive, first quadrant, when the number is negative, it's negative. I don't need to determine more. 4 quadrant. So don't forget that. Don't forget that because in the final answer, I need to find cotangent theta and theta lie in the 4 quadrant. Y cotangent in the 4 quadrant is positive or is negative?
Negative.
Negative. Entonces, don't forget, please, that my final answer is minus something. Right? Minus something. Okay, entonces, in order to determine the value, well, I create my triangle. What triangle? The triangle associated with the sine. Okay, actually, to see more clear for me, you put sine theta is equal -8/9. Okay, my triangle look like that. Always is the same. Nobody changed that. This is the same triangle. But change the number, no? Definition is 8 and hypothesis is 9, right? I don't care the sign for the moment. And now, in order to find this, I apply square root 9 squared minus 8 squared. 81 minus 64 is 17. 17. Okay, 17. 17. Now, cotangent theta. Cotangent theta is, definition for the cotangent is opposite, que es square root 17, no? Opposite no, adjacent, sorry, adjacent over opposite, que es A, no? Okay, this is the value. But the sign is positive or negative? It's negative.
Negative.
It's negative because theta lies in the fourth quadrant. And this is the final answer. You get the idea? Number 10. Okay, number 10. Number 10 is the option D, no? Yes. Option D. Everyone follow me? Or you are totally lost? Follow me or lost?
So, Professor, sorry, I'm having some problems with my connectivity.
Oh. Kevin say, I got it. Okay.
Can I take a picture? Because I wasn't here when you were explaining that.
Take it.
Okay, thank you.
You let me know when I can erase.
Okay, you can erase it.
Okay. Now we discussing number 11, no? Number 11 is cosine. Sure. Cosine bracket tangent inverse of negative 10 over 9. Okay, I analyze the same idea. This is the answer of this angle. I call Greek letter. I call it theta because it's the, you know, the habit. But you can call alpha, beta, either way, Greek letter. Entonces I know que es negative, es theta, sorry, theta. Theta, entonces tangent inversa negative 10 over 9 equal theta. End of the word, tangent theta is equal negative 10 over 9. According to the agreement of the tangent inverse, is something like that. It's positive in the first quadrant, is negative in the third quadrant. Therefore, the conclusion is theta lie in what quadrant? Fourth quadrant. Very well. Keep in mind, and cosine, que is the last trigonometric function of any angle in the fourth quadrant, is positive or is negative? Cosine, si I know que theta lie in the fourth quadrant, cosine, any angle in the fourth quadrant is positive or is negative?
Positive.
Exactly, positive. Then the final answer that we expect is positive, right? Look, you need to memorize this idea and this idea. I suppose that this idea you memorize in the first chapter, but just in case, now we go. Okay, now let's do it for the triangle, because I know the sign. The sign is clear, okay, it's positive. The final answer is positive, but I need to find the value. This is my famous triangle, 90 degree theta. Okay, I come back to this extent. The tangent by definition is the ratio between opposite and adjacent. Okay, square root 9 squared is 81, 10 squared 100, is square root 181. I leave it like that because it's no possible simplification more. No, it's possible, but no, it's okay. Finally, there's a cosine theta. Is the ratio between adjacent over hypotenuse. is 9 over the square root 181. Rationalize is the easy part. Is 9 radical 181 divided by 181. And the answer is positive or negative? Plus or minus? Es plus or es minus?
It's positive.
Why?
Because it's in the fourth quadrant.
Exactly. Because line, the angle is negative and value positive. So angle is negative, value is positive. Okay. And the answer is A, no? Is A? Is it okay? Okay, super.
Professor, sorry, can you zoom it for me to take a picture? Okay.
I check in this class the view, and in this class I check in the view in YouTube, and only 4 people watching the video. 4 people, 6 people, no more than this. Another class, I have another class, and there are 20 view and 14, but I don't know what happened with this class. It's the hard class, the more complicated. However, you don't wait.
It's because we are in class, Professor, all the time. So we don't watch it because we are here.
No. The video is in YouTube, and you're watching the day you want. Sunday, Saturday, hello. So you have no excuse. Don't see. They say que you don't care. We took notes. Okay. I respect it. Okay, either way. So, I suppose que in this class, concentrate the student can take note and don't need to watch the video. Are present.
Excuse me, Professor.
Go ahead.
Those YouTube videos help tremendously.
Yes, I know. This is the intention, mister. This is the intention. I suppose that you watching, but other people know. I see 4 views, 6 views, no more than this. So I say, wow, what happened in this class? And your grade is low grade, low score. Not you specific, you know. And I see the average of this class, no?
It's sad.
Yeah. Sorry. I try to do my best, you know. I am very, very dedicated teacher.
Yeah, you are a good professor.
No, I try to do my best. I'm not good. I try to do my best. Always, anytime. You try to do your best also. Okay, number 12. Let me do the number 12. Number 12 is cosecant. Wow, I don't like cosecant. Cosecant bracket, tangent inverse of negative A over 3. Don't frustrate when you say, wow, what the hell is that? No. Step by step. You analyze step by step. I need to interpretation. Okay, this is a trigonometric inverse. This is the value, negative A over 3. And give me an angle. So tangent inverse of negative value, give me an angle. And this angle lie
on the 4th.
Excellent. And the 4th quadrant. According to the agreement of the tangent inverse can look like that. Tangent inverse agreement is when the number inside the parenthesis is positive, the angle can offer the trigonometry inverse is lie in the 1st quadrant. However, in this example is negative, entonces es a cosecant. Cosecant, again, I have the famous mnemonic divide to remember the sign of direct trigonometry. All students take calculus. All students take calculus. Entonces we are working in the 4th quadrant. In the 4th quadrant, only cosine. And secant are positive. Cosecant is negative. So sine and cosecant is negative. And the final answer we expect when you finish the problem is negative, right? It's negative value. Sure? Okay, but what value? Oh, to determine the value, I need to do the triangle, the famous triangle. 90 degree, always the triangle is the same. The only thing that changes is the number, no? Okay, tangent by definition is the ratio between opposite and adjacent. A, this A, this A, this 3, this 3. And the hypotenuse is square root 3 squared is 9, and A squared is 64. It's 73. This is our hypotenuse. Okay, entonces cosecant theta, que by the way lie in the fourth quadrant, is the ratio between hypotenuse divided by opposite. And this is the crucial moment in which you say, wow, this cosecant is the cosecant of the one angle que lie in the fourth quadrant. Therefore, I know very well that the sign is negative. Boom. Final answer. Eso no complicated, eh? I know that you have too many details.
This one was clear.
Yeah, little by little, no? The problem is, Noela, que you understand now and you forgot tomorrow. So we are doing nothing, right?
Yes, that is why we need to practice.
Okay. So remember, I can do that 1 million problems and you are doing nothing and you don't learn. So you need to practice by yourself. Okay, what is the answer for number 12? The answer was A, no? A. You want to take your famous picture?
I wrote it. I wrote it down. Thank you, Professor. I don't need it.
Depending your way to learn something, you know, some people prefer take a note like an antique school, take a note in your own notebook. It's good because you follow me in this way. And other people know, and other people prefer watching and not and after I prefer taking note. Okay, I respect. You are adult, no? Okay, let's go to number 13. Okay, number 13 is cotangent of cosine inverse of negative 15 over 17. You know that I am bad guy, no? Entonces any problem or the majority of problems, no, any problem. I put a negative number, no? To complicate your life. Si es positive, it's easy, first quadrant always, no? Si es negative, depends the function, no? Entonces this is theta, the famous theta angle. Entonces you can rewrite cosine inverse of negative 15 over 17 is theta, que es equivalent to say cosine theta equal minus 15 over 17. Entonces I know that when the value inside the cosine inverse is negative, theta lie in what quadrant lie theta?
On the second.
In the second. Very well. Because I remember very well the agreement of the cosine inverse, que es when it's positive in the first quadrant, but when it's negative in the second. Entonces lie in the second quadrant. Okay, entonces finally, when I compute the cotangent, que is the last trigonometric function, direct, no inverse, give me a value, and this value cotangent in the second quadrant would be positive or would be negative.
Negative.
Negative, very well, because I know very well with this mnemonic device that the only guy gets positive in the second quadrant is sine and cosecant. No tangent, no cotangent. Entonces the answer that we expect when you finish the problem is negative. Okay, pero negative what value? Well, we are doing the famous triangle to determine the value. The triangle is always the same, regardless the quantity positive and negative. You don't care this negative. This mentally you delete this negative. Well, in this part, in the triangle part. cosine, by definition, is the ratio between adjacent over hypotenuse. Right? I need to find the third side. Because you have three sides, you can determine any trigonometric function value. Entonces, square root 17 squared minus 15 squared. And the answer is 8. Unbelievable, it's 8. I omit this part, the algebra part, the arithmetic part of this. Okay, entonces now cotangent by definition is the ratio between cotangent theta, theta. Never you write trigonometric function without argument. This is nothing. It's no sense. You need to put the parentheses or no. It doesn't matter. You know, I discussed what the reason of the parentheses. I prefer parentheses, but sometimes I forgot. It's okay. Everyone understands. Cotangent is a ratio between the adjacent divided by opposite. 15 over 8, right? We discussed before that the answer is negative because lie in the second quadrant. And any cotangent of the angle in the second quadrant is negative. I know very well this fact. Super good. You know, little by little, you understand, guys?
Yes, Professor. Now I understand.
Hey, happy. I am happy now, coño. Okay, I know it's too many details. Okay, you need to organize in your brain step by step. But by the way, it's always the same, no? Oh, no, the same, but similar, no? It's similar. Take your famous picture. No, the answer of the
Yes,
13.
Okay, thank you.
The answer 13 is B, no? B. Yeah, B. Okay. Let's doing one more and that's it, because I have another class after that. And don't worry, we continue next time and continue. I know it's too long package. And this is a repetition, everything we covered before, but we go over again on this. Remember, we stopped in 14. 14 is cosine, parentheses or bracket, either way, sine
This
inverse.
is the last one, Professor.
Yeah, for today, yes, I promise. 4/5. See, because you always criticize me. I say que it's the last. One more. No more. It's the last one. The end. For today. Not for the packet. Not for the packet. For today. Okay, this is theta. This is our famous theta because I know very well that when you compute the sine inverse of the one value, give me angle. Therefore, sine inverse of 4/5. Oh, nice, it's positive. Okay, is equal theta, therefore sine theta is equal 4/5. Entonces now theta lie in what quadrant lie?
First
quadrant. Just in case, let me check in. The agreement of the sine inverse, I have to respect always. The agreement is sine inverse agreement. When the number inside is positive, lie in the first quadrant, fantastic. When it's negative, it's another example. But in this case, it's 4/5 positive, lie in the first quadrant. Therefore, cosine, when I compute the final answer, cosine theta would be positive, would be negative. And the last piece, que is the last trigonometry, this one.
Positive.
Positive. Entonces I know que es positive. If you want, confirm que es positive. You know, si you omit the positive, default you suppose que es positive. Now I go. What value, professor? Bueno, okay. This is theta. This is opposite. This is hypotenuse. So you need to remember the definition for any trigonometric function. At least sine, cosine, and tangent. Because you know that the others, cosecant, reciprocal sine, cotangent, reciprocal tangent, and secant, reciprocal cosine. Entonces, this is a famous triangle que es 3, 4, 5. Okay, we working several times. And the cosine is 3/5. Of corpus. All right. If you don't like, you remove this. Yeah, everyone understand que es positive, que es the option A. It's the option 8. Option 8, 3 or 5.
Professor, sorry, why is it 3?
Well, okay. Because I know my memory, Nuela.
Mm-hmm.
The famous 3, 4, 5 triangle. But no, okay. Let's do it. You compute this guy like a square root, 5 square minus 4 square. 5 square is 25, 4 square is 16, 25 minus 16 is 9.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Professor. Sorry, I forgot that formula.
It's okay. Entonces, one more or no? No. This
No,
is the
Professor,
last
no.
This is the last one. Okay, guys, I appreciate so much your attention. And we continue next week. I expect next week doing the review. Okay?
Okay,
right,
thank you so much. It was a nice class,
Bye-bye.
Professor. Have a nice day.
You too.